Hey there guys, Showcase Watches here. Today bringing a quick video about Omega and Rolex. And one of the most commonly asked questions I get is why do I wear Omega or Omega and not Rolex? And I thought I'd do a quick vid. So, Omega versus Rolex. Why do I choose Omega? Well, first of all, let me start with back in the day when I first got into luxury watches, I got a tag. Like a lot of guys who get into the hobby, I got a Tag Heuer Aqua Racer, and I absolutely adored that watch. It was a 44mm quartz movement, and when I got that watch, I thought I was the swinging dick. I loved that watch. It made me confident. I felt fantastic with it. It was just an awesome watch. And then I fell down the rabbit hole, which is watches, and I started doing a bit of research, and I moved on to Breitling, and I got Breitling Super Ocean. Loved that watch. I kept hold of the tag because I just couldn't let it go. It was just such a cool watch. So then I got into Breitling and I got the Super Ocean, and it was an automatic movement, which blew my mind. You know, to have an automatic movement, I was used to a quartz watch. To then get an automatic was absolutely awesome. Did some more research, and then I got my first Omega or Omega watch in 2012, which was the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean 42mm, caliber 8500. At the time, I was also looking at the Omega Seamaster Professional, which had the caliber 2500. There was a slight price difference between the watches, but I opted to go for the Planet Ocean. And I wore that watch. I dumped the tag and I dumped the Breitling because I'd paid quite a bit of money for the Planet Ocean, 3,950 I think it was. So I sold the other two watches to pay for the Omega. And I remember at the time seeing the Speedmaster, and it was the Omega Speedmaster caliber 1861, and I absolutely loved that watch. But the sales guy in the Omega said to me it was a bit of a purist's watch. It wasn't fantastic for daily wear because it wasn't waterproof. Well, it is waterproof to 50 meters, but it wasn't that waterproof. Hesselite crystals, Hesselite glass, so it was a bit scrap. It could scratch easy. It wasn't the sapphire crystal, which obviously the Planet Ocean was. But I remember seeing that watch and thinking how cool it was. And at the time, bear in mind this was back in 2012, at the time, Rolex, there was an abundance of them in the window. They couldn't give the Hulk away. I remember when I bought my Hulk, this was back in 2017, I bought my Hulk out of the window. And then a year later, I got the Batman. So they were readily available. And I chose Omega over Rolex back then. And it was because Rolex is not boring, it's a serious watch. A Rolex is a serious watch. If you wear a Rolex, I always get the feeling that you take yourself very seriously. And there isn't a great deal of fun in your life. Yeah, sure, you might drive a nice car, you might have the nice Rolex on your wrist, but you're just lacking that fun, that who gives a shit type of fun. Whereas Omega, they've done some stupid things. I mean, Omega have put 007 across dials whenever they can, and in case you haven't heard, the Omega Speedmaster went to the moon. I think everybody's heard that. And Omega just ram it down our throats. But they do a little bit of fun with it. The Omega Seamaster 007 60th anniversary got the cool little gun barrel effect on the back. Nobody knows it's there. Only enthusiasts would know that is there, or owners. It's just a bit of fun. You'd never catch Rolex doing something like that. They put a solid case back on the back because they're saying our movement is there. There's a solid case back. You don't need to see it. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing fun to see here. Just, look at it tells the time. That's it. They're just so black and white, and they're so cold because of that. Now, Rolex have done a couple of things. They do a bit of a coloured dial, or they might change the colour of a dial or add a bit of pizzazz somewhere, which sure is a bit of fun, but it's still very serious. It's serious money you're talking about. It's still a very serious watch. Omega are just a bit more relaxed. The Omega Speedmaster Snoopy, they have Snoopy, ticking around on the back. Just a bit of fun. You look at a lot of the Omega watches, the Planet Oceans and things, they're just fun. They're just fun watches. They can put them on funky coloured straps. You can interchange the straps. You can swap them out onto NATO straps. If you get the Omega Speedmaster Professional, you can put it on leather, you can put it on a bracelet, you can put it on an aftermarket bracelet, put it on NATO straps, you can put it on rubber, you can do whatever you like with it. You get a Rolex watch, a Submariner for instance, that's it, you know, you're on the bracelet. Rolex don't want you messing around with that watch. They don't want you putting it on a NATO strap. They make it very, very, I won't say difficult, but if you get a 40mm Submariner, let's say an 1140-60, you get that watch, take the bracelet off to put a NATO strap on. It's quite tight between the case and between the spring bar. It's quite tight. You struggle to get a NATO strap on there. Now, if you go back to the Submariner's predecessors, say I don't know, a 5513 or a 104060, which is the 2-line no-date Submariner, you take something like that, you can put a NATO strap on that, no problem at all. You know, this was back when they were tool watches. They're not tools anymore. They are status symbols. They're for an achievement. They mark something in your life. And I feel that's what Rolex has become. They're not the tools they once were. And they're for people who take themselves so seriously. Whereas me, I don't take myself too seriously. Pretty easygoing. I like a bit of fun. I don't see why the watch hobby needs to be so serious. I don't see why the watch on your wrist needs to be so serious. I think, you know, if Omega want to, I mean, I don't want cheap and cheesy, you know. I mean, this watch, the 60th anniversary, is just super cool. It's a quality watch, caliber 8806. Beautiful movement inside, which you can see. It's got the cool wave dial from the 90s, you know, mesh bracelet. It's just a cool watch. But it's got that bit of fun on the back of it, which I know it's there, and an enthusiast would know it's there. But to anybody else, they wouldn't have a clue. Now, Omega can be a bit cheesy. They can do the 007 across the dial or whatever. You know, they have done some stupid things, which isn't fun. It's just cheesy. It's just, you know, who wants to wear a watch that has 007 plastered across the dial? It's just, no, you just don't do it. Rolex is just so serious. And then there's the availability. You know, if I want to buy an Omega, if I wake up tomorrow morning and think, hey, do you know what, I've got a spare few grand in the bank, I want to buy myself a watch, what shall I get? I can go buy an Omega off the shelf, no problem, and I'll get a discount. You try that with Rolex. You wake up tomorrow morning and think you fancy buying a Rolex. At retail, you walk to your Rolex authorised dealer and they will basically laugh you out of the shop. Never mind discounts, you've got no chance. The best they'll do is then offer you a Tudor, which there's nothing wrong with Tudor watches at all, but it's no Rolex. If somebody wakes up and wants to go out and buy a Rolex and they come home with a Tudor, they're going to feel something's missing. Whereas if you go out in the morning to go buy an Omega and you come home with an Omega, you know, you've done what you wanted to do. And so that's a big thing. And then finally, it's the security. You walk through the streets with a Rolex Submariner strapped to your wrist in some rough neighbourhoods and some rough towns, you'll do well not to get mugged. You walk through the streets with an Omega Seamaster on your wrist, you're probably going to be, yeah, sure, it's still a recognisable watch, but you're probably going to be okay. And I can comfortably wear my Omegas at work, in front of customers. I can wear my Omega Seamasters when I'm out and about, you know, like now in the woods, whether I'm swimming with the kids, wherever I am, I can wear my Omega Seamaster comfortably. The Submariner, I can't wear it at work because I'd be covering it up from clients, from the staff. You know, I don't want my staff to see that I'm wearing an expensive watch. It's that type of thing. The Omega Seamaster versus the Rolex Submariner, they're both equally good watches. They're fantastic watches, very, very accurate, well made and all the rest of it. One is for people who are very serious. One is for people who they're just relaxed, you know. And when you wear an Omega watch, you don't have that status symbol, which is what Rolex does give you. Rolex gives you that status symbol, which some people want. Some people want that sort of, you know, that flex, that, you know, to be a boast, I've got a Rolex watch. I'm not that guy. I just want a watch on my wrist that's quality, will last me a lifetime, and do its job, and be a bit of fun in the process. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Rolex, Omega, what do you guys think of those? Which one is the best? Because to be honest with you, I don't think there is a best. I think where Rolex wins in some areas, Omega beat Rolex in other areas. So I think, for instance, Rolex bracelets, phenomenal. Omega bracelets, questionable. Omega movements, phenomenal. Rolex movements, not so much. So, you know, it's where one wins, another loses, and vice versa. That's just the way it is. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Check out the rest of my videos, check out my channel, subscribe to the channel, all that usual stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, guys.